Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel into Final Fantasy XIV. So last time we managed to fight Ifrit and win, and we have been invited to all three grand companies, so now we have to go around and try to figure out which one we want to join. So what we're doing to figure that out is going to all three of the city-states remembrance services to listen to the grand company leaders give a speech, and we'll pick right after that which grand company we're going to go to, although I'm just picking for aesthetics. So the first one we're going to do is here in Limsa Lominsa, so let's get started. Here to attend the remembrance service, be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment.
Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say.
I'm excited that they're
there. The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the Black Longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon
I love him.
Eorzea,
I can't
we
wait to
assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand
officially
company
meet him
was
again.
reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartino. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
What's your
It has
point
been
there?
5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have
bastards.
risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now, the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
If you'll permit me, Alphinaud. And my sister, Alisae, at your service.
Alisae doesn't look like she wants to talk.
I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
What, do you not recognize me, Alphinaud? I was sitting next to you in that carriage before. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lominsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lominsans' backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lominsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched in a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That's morbid. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Alright, so there's that. Alright, the next place is... we can go ahead and do Ulda and listen to Rauban give his speech. He's probably going to yell a lot. I don't remember what his speech was like anymore. I wonder if Alphinaud and Alisae show up for this one too.
'Tis the Sultana Nanimo herself!
And Roban as well.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Rauban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have brought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Nalthal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
Yep, there they are.
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Gee, he's just full of like little tidbits of information, apparently.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartino, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Oh. Is he, skipping over some details? Is Rauban?
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies
Is he trying to get, like, reform going in the same time?
Right beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Rauban?
I love it!
People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved of its subjects. I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and
That
fortune,
voice.
strive
That voice.
fearless into the inferno, for we are by fire reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
Fancy meeting you again.
His sister looks like she's sleeping. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Killed him already! Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with the Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. Obviously, they're all sitting outside of the town. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and even though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. You said that for the last one. He'll probably say it for the next as well. If he shows up. I'm pretty sure he will, though. Alright, and then we're gonna go do the Esthetician quest here while we're here, which is over there. Alchemist Guild. Severian. You've come on behalf of Jandalin? Why, I just furnished him with a fresh batch of my special creations last week. I realize the man's services are in demand, but it would be physically impossible for him to exhaust the entire supply so soon. Stolen, you say? An unfortunate turn of events indeed, if not entirely unexpected. You see, the man is something of a genius, and genius is often misunderstood by modest minds. Trust me, as I speak from extensive personal experience. What do you look like? Oh, okay. Yes, great minds must band together in trying times, lest the realm be deprived of our talents, and so I command you, deliver this parcel to Jandalin with all speed. I like his coat. And then we need to go to Gridania. Where is the airship here? Does it have a teleport there? You can either go to the Aetheryte Plaza or the Adventurers Guild. I'll probably just go to the Adventure Guild one. That'll save me just a little bit. At least until I get a little bit more gil, that it won't hurt quite so much to teleport freely everywhere. And then once I hit at least level 50, I can start doing some hunts and, oops. You get Gridania. You get, you get a special currency when you do hunts, and then you can use that to buy, teleport tickets, basically. I forgot what they're called. But it lets you teleport using that instead of your gil. I've got 170 something of them currently that I've been kind of using sparingly on the more expensive teleports, but I won't be able to get more until I get to do some hunts and stuff. I know for the first little while, a lot of the Grand Company currency that we get I'll have to use for chocobo related things. What is that quest? Ah, that right there is how you unlock Palace of the Dead. I'll do that in the next video, because that will be a fun thing to get started on. I'm gonna go do the esthetician one since it's in this area, and then we'll teleport over to Miketo's amphitheater to do the next one. Beaten again. He's the one who made the mask for the ceremony we did earlier. A message from Jandaline, you say? So he's lost another one. Does the man not understand that wood doesn't simply grow on... actually it does. At least in a manner of speaking. But the fact remains that resources are in short supply. For all his flowery words, if his tools were truly an extension of his very being, one would think he'd find a way to hold on to them for more than a fortnight or two. Jandaline's skills are not to be doubted, but his temperament leaves much to be desired. Still, it is not my place to judge. Take this to him and let us both hope that he will right his ways. Okie dokie. So that one's done. And we'll have to go back to Limsa to complete that, but that's okay.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
There's more than one seed seer? I don't think I even knew that.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago.
Oh wow, it's an old town.
Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer.
He knows everything about standards. Apparently.
The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
Yes.
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Carteneau. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice.
She seems to be very
Alas,
compassionate.
their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
It's the first time she's talking, I think.
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you, join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For
forest.
the elementals!
I wonder if they're all related, the four that were up on the stage. They're obviously the same race, the Horns. I don't know much about them, though.
Fancy meeting you again.
I like how, other than the little remark that Alisae made about not being able to remember the previous Warriors of Light that the world has forgotten about, they didn't make any snide remarks about her speech, whereas the other two, he had something kind of snarky-ish to say about what they were saying. Like in Ul'dah, he said something about basically indicating that they've forgotten part of the history, or they said were saying it differently than what really happened. And then in Limsa, what did he say? I don't remember, but I know he said something there too. I'll remember, of course, when I go back to edit this, but whatever. My memory is not very good sometimes. But yeah, he didn't really say anything about this one. So I guess her speech was a lot closer to what a speech for remembrance should have been. I don't know. I like the Gridanian ideals a lot, though, especially the way that the speech focused a little bit more on really remembering and less about, you know, how bad their people have become over time. I mean, she did mention it, but she didn't spend almost the entire speech talking about how much infighting they have or whatever, like the other two did. So I kind of liked that a lot too. Anyway, Alphinaud says, the Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a natural warlike disposition and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, and change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to an all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? Well, perhaps we will find out. The elder Seedseer's words fell on fertile ground. Lien, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope? Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence! Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies? Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back! Cool. Alright. We'll go ahead and go to Limsa, because I like to kind of use Limsa to get to Horizon anyway, so I don't have to run the whole way there, and also so we can turn in Jandaline's quest. And then we do have a dungeon unlocked that we can run in the next video, and then probably the one after that is the one I'll do Palace of the Dead, because I do think that would be a lot of fun to spend a video running a few times, and it's a good way to get experience and level up. Alright, there's the airship ticketer. Limsa? Yes. They're all standing. Oh man, she's still standing there. If there is an ounce of compassion in you, friend, I beg of you, retrieve for me the tools of my trade, for I am none other than Jandeline, the wait, why can't he get it out? Could this be? Yes, I can feel it. The light returns to my eyes. Power courses through my fingers. I live! You are so dramatic. Oh my lord. This music. And as I live, this unspeakable embodiment of ugliness must die. Begone, foul demon! And so I ask, how do you feel, madame? Why, it's as if, in but a single magnificent moment, I traveled beyond the void and returned to life as the embodiment of all that is beautiful in this world. Could it be? Yes, it must. How else to explain such power? You are the one whose coming was foretold. Yes, you, are the aesthetician. In the flesh, madame, I am Jandeline, crafter of coiffures so divine that Menfina herself doth begrudge my clientele their beauty. But let us speak of you, madame, for where but a moment ago stood a fashion-challenged frump, now there stands a beauty reborn. Nope. Nope. I like my hair. And you were the one I must thank for reviving my soul, that I might once again bestow my gifts on a realm bereft of beauty, a kindness I intend to repay in full. The pew! Do you fear that your own hairstyle is becoming passé? Fear the specter of ugliness threatening to consume you? Fear not, friend, for it shall not survive my wrath. As the madam before you, at this very realm we call home, through an abyss and unfathomable drabness, you shall rise anew. My clients have been known to make reservations moons, even years in advance, but you shall know no such troubles. No, for proving a staunch ally to good taste when all others turn a blind eye, I gladly place myself at your beck and call. Yes, the next time you find yourself plagued by aesthetic ennui, you need only ring the crystal bell from the comfort of any inn room at which you have taken up lodgings. Jandeline shall hasten to the scene. Yes, in a flash, the dreary, uninspired life that you have hitherto known shall end. You shall travel to the realm beyond and return to us as a beauty reborn. Oh my god. I give you this as a token of the trust between us. Treasure it, for it is the key to a world of aesthetic wonders ordinary women shall never know. Oh, Master Jandeline, do come back. I've not made my next appointment. That walk. That was fantastic. I don't remember that little quest at all. Yay! Okay. That was funny. Turn this in and I don't know if we'll have time to pick the Grand Company in this video. I'm just a little worried it's going to have another long cutscene on it. And we're getting real close to the hour mark already, so. Welcome back, Lien. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Lien. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. And got another cutscene.
The gods
Alphinaud.
only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep.
Grand Company.
The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
I don't remember
Brother,
this.
are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity?
Well, they've definitely told me about them. It's just they can't remember who they were. But yeah, they're right. They didn't actually talk about them in the speeches.
No, dear Alisae. They haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain.
I mean, he's not wrong there.
So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Easier said than done.
Our
Apparently.
grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
Harsh words. That head flick.
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
Whoa, they're like challenging each other.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Huh. So it looks like the brother and sister are having a little bit of a spat there on how to handle what's going on in the realm. It sounds like they want to try to find a solution, maybe, to try and fix the various problems that Eorzea is experiencing, particularly with the primals. I'm not sure if I'm not really sure what their end goal is at this point. I remember what it becomes, but I'm not sure what their current ideas are. It definitely sounds like they've got differing opinions on how to do it, though, and that's kind of interesting to see. I don't remember anything about like them being involved in the remembrance ceremonies at all. The only thing I really remembered about them was that you see them in the very beginning when your character first joins or goes to the city, and then I remembered that you see them a lot towards the end of the Realm Reborn story, but I couldn't remember when they came back in yet. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see them show back up this early in the game. So anyway, I think that's cool. And I'm looking forward to kind of seeing more about what their initial plans were, because I honestly can't remember. And also just kind of see how their goals change over time, and to see where like, I can't remember if Alisae shows back up again. I know that she ends up having a different goal or a different method to achieve her goal than Alphinaud has. And I do remember that you see Alphinaud a whole lot more than you do Alisae. I just can't remember if she actually really shows up in the main story again once she walks off there in that last cutscene. So I guess we'll find out. But anyway, so in the beginning of the next video, we're going to pick our which grand company we're going to join. And just because I think there's probably going to be some cutscenes, so I don't want to run this video too long by going ahead and doing that now, but we're going to end up going with the serpents, I think, for the beginning. So we'll do that, and then I think what we're going to do is take a little bit of a break from doing main story, and we're going to go get our chocobo and do the quest that allows you to summon them to help you fight out in the open world. And I think we're going to go ahead and unlock Palace of the Dead and maybe run a couple floors of that. Oh no, we'll do the dungeon Halatali, and then the next video we'll do Palace of the Dead, and then we'll get back to story after that. I think there might be a couple other side quests that we do, like there's in the 3 main cities there's some dance quests that you can pick up, so we might go ahead and do those before we hop back in the story too. I haven't really decided. There's a lot of side things that we haven't picked up yet, so if I am going to take a little bit of a break from the story, those would definitely be good things to do. But anyway, that will be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. It was very cutscene heavy in this episode, but that's okay. We definitely got a lot farther in the story. A lot of good progress, and I hope you enjoyed it, regardless of cutscene or not. And hope you come back for the next episode. Thank you very much, and have a great day.